Good morning, M4. In today's lesson, our lesson objective is converting statements to questions and vice versa. Vice versa means the other way around, converting questions to statements. Statements are regular sentence and they end with a full stop. So that's a statement. And then the question, of course, are question sentences and they end with a question mark. We had a similar activity about this before, and I am just going to give you examples and explain your activity so that you know what to do. Okay, so better listen properly because in the next I will be explaining your activity. So you will be having this will be your activity C, activity A, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so the first part of the activity is you're going to turn these questions from the extract into statements. So these sentences are from the extract of The Voyage of Dr. Dolittle. So we are going to convert them. And then we have two question sentences here. We have, are you a good noticer? You're going to convert that into a statement. And second, do you think the doctor would let me? And you have to convert that into a statement or to a regular sentence. Second activity, you have three statements here. You are interested in animals. Polynesia is very patient. I can help the doctor. Now for these statements, you have to convert them to questions. And then the second part of number 2 is you have to add do or does. You have to add do or does to make these three statements questions. You understand animal language, so you have to choose if you add do or does. Animals like the doctor. You have to add do or does. Tommy wants to learn animal language. You have to add do or does to make these three questions. Number 3, it says here, discuss what happens to the verb when does was used. I am going to explain that later on. And number 4 as well, formulate a rule for when to add do and when to add does. I am going to explain this in a while. Okay, first I'm going to give an example how to turn a question to a statement. So first we'll discuss how to convert question to statement. Now we have the question here, is she happy? To convert that, we are just going to swap our subject pronoun. We're going to put it at the beginning, and then the verb is we put in the middle. So from the question, is she happy? It will become a statement like, she is happy. We just move she at the beginning, and then is we put in the middle. Is she happy? Question mark. She is happy. Full stop. Don't forget to write full stop when you're converting to statements. Okay. Another example. Are you happy? It's the same. We are still going to change the position of our subject in the beginning, and our verb are we put in the middle. So we have the statement, you are happy. Again, we just change the position. Last example for question to statement. Do you know me? Question mark. And to make this a statement, since we have do here, what you need to do is you're just going to remove do or does to make it a statement. So it will look like this. You know me. Okay, we just remove do, and then we continue with the statement, or we just write the statement, you know me, full stop. So from do you know me, statement will be you know me. We just remove do or does if it's on question. So that's how you convert question to statement. It's very easy. Next, we are going to convert a statement to question. Okay, we're going to do the vice versa of it, statement to question. The first statement we have here is, you are eating pizza. So you're stating that you are eating pizza. To make this a question, we also have to swap the places of our subject and our verb. Okay, so we put the verb are in the beginning and you the second word. It will look like this. Are you eating pizza? Then question mark. So you've noticed that we just swapped their position. Now I'll give you another example. Anna is a good student. So you are stating or you're saying that Anna is a good student. To make this a question, again, we are just going to move the verb is at the beginning and then Anna will be the second word. And it's going to look like this. Is Anna a good student? Question mark. Okay, so again, you've noticed we just change their position to convert it to a question sentence. Now the next example that I will give is we need to add do or does in the question. Okay, we either need to add do or does to make it a question. We have discussed this before, so it will be easy for you to understand when to apply do or does. I'll give examples, of course. First sentence, Anna eats ice cream. So this is our statement. Anna eats ice cream. To make this a sentence, or rather a question, we have to select which one to use, do or does. Now, we have discussed this before. We use do if the subject is plural and does if the subject is singular. Now you look at your sentence. Our subject, or the one that we're talking about, is Anna. Is Anna plural or singular? If Anna is singular, therefore we are going to use does. Okay, do is for plural, does is for singular. So the equivalent question for this, does Anna eat ice cream? Question mark. Okay, so we will write does at the beginning. Does Anna eat ice cream? Always write at the beginning when we are writing in question. I mean, always write do or does in the beginning when you are writing a question. Another example, we have the statement, children like to play. Again, we are just going to add do or does at the beginning. You have to think of your subject. Is it plural or singular? We have children. So, children is a plural form of child. Therefore, we need to use do. We need to write do at the beginning so that this statement will be a question. It will look like this. Do children like to play? So, again, we just added the word do at the beginning. I'll give you another example. We have the statement, she eats bread. Again, we have to select either we add do or does. Check your subject if it's singular or plural. Our subject is she, so she is singular, therefore we add does in the beginning. So it's going to look like this. Does she eat bread? So it's a question now. We have to add does in the beginning. So that's how you add do or does in a question. You always have to check the subject if it's singular or plural, and you always add do or does at the beginning of the question sentence. All right, so on your activity, again, like what I said, the first part you convert it to a question. You convert the question to a statement. The example we have here. Part 2, you have to convert the question, or you have to convert the statements to questions. We did it here. And then the second part of part 2, you have to add do or does on the statements to make this question, to make the statements question. And we did the examples here. Now for activity 3, it says discuss what happened to the verb when does was used. Now let's look at this sentence. It asks, for the question 3, it asks us, you need to discuss what happened to the verb when does was used. Now look at here. We have the sentence with does here. Does Anna eat ice cream? Now from the original sentence or statement, it's Anna eats ice cream. Anna is our subject, our verb is eats. Now when we add does, and does Anna eat ice cream, what happened to the verb? You look at the verb. Now what happened to the verb? You have, okay, you always check what happens to the verb when we add does. Original sentence, Anna eats ice cream. When we add the word does Anna eat ice cream? What happened to the verb? Same goes with this one. She eats bread. Now we add the word does. Does she eat bread? What happened to the verb? So you have to explain that on your activity. In question number 3, discuss what happened to the verb when does was used. Okay, now question number 4. Formulate a rule for when to add do or when to add does. Now on number 4, what you have to write on your paper, you have to write a rule. Like for example, we use do when blah blah blah. I'm not going to give you the answer, of course. So I check the sentences. When do we use do? When do we use does? So rather does. So you write on your paper, we use do when blah blah blah. We use does when blah blah blah. Okay, that's how you have to write on your notebook. And yeah, that's the activity for today. I'll see you tomorrow.